Okay, so I think I'm already recording. So Phil and I were just saying before you got on, Stephen, it'd be nice if we could tackle these two final behemoths in one 40-minute call. I think we can. I'll
Yeah.
be honest. A Full Metal Jacket. This is like, here's how ridiculous I can be with movies, but I think this does say a little something about Full Metal Jacket. Before we started this, I kept thinking, oh, I've got to rewatch Full Metal Jacket because it's been so long since I've seen it. I don't remember anything about it. I did watch it again, and I'll tell you my reactions to it. But before I say that, I just have to mention I still don't even know if I actually have seen it again. Like it's like some of it seemed a bit familiar, but most of it didn't. And while I was watching it, I was thinking maybe I didn't even actually see this before, and I like genuinely don't know. But I mean, that's in some ways my review of the film as well. I was actually kind of surprised. Like to me, one thing you don't normally say about a Stanley Kubrick film, well, I don't normally say about a Stanley Kubrick film, is that it's well, boring maybe is the wrong word because a lot of people think 2001 is boring, but that it's ordinary. That ordinary, not boring, but ordinary. Even Clockwork Orange, as bad as it is, I would never say it's an ordinary film. I found Full Metal Jacket just to be completely ordinary. It was like another Vietnam movie, and not even upper echelon of Vietnam movies for me. And they were kind of big in that era, I believe. Apocalypse Now is a movie that's way more over the top, and my own history with Apocalypse Now has kind of gone up and down. Well, gone more up in recent years, but I've first reacted strongly against, and I've liked it a little more every time I've seen it. This one, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to willingly sit through Full Metal Jacket again. I just didn't. I got like almost nothing out of it. Am I being unfair? Like I think Phil likes it a little more than I did for sure, but it just seemed really ordinary to me.
I agree with the word ordinary for some, maybe most of the second half. I think the first half, the half that everybody talks about and remembers is somewhat unique. I can't think of it. You might get it in small parts. There are probably a lot of war films that, and I think Stephen made the point that they just overdo it. They make the same, they hammer you over the head with this one point for half the film. But I think the first half is definitely memorable. But yeah, there's a couple of battle scenes in the second half that are ordinary, leading up to the final scene, which is the other thing I like about the film, other than the whole Lee Emery section. I think the final scene is it's. God, I hate sounding so ordinary here, but it's a great metaphor for the Vietnam War. The fact that they're fighting this woman barricade, this unseen enemy. They've got this sniper barricaded in this whatever this abandoned structure, and it seemed to sum up the war fairly well. But before that, there was one of them might have even been the Tet Offensive, what was just like it was nothing. You know. Go ahead, Steve.
Uh, I didn't rewatch it. I also think it's a two-part movie, in that the first part is really good. I think the discovery of the that was a brilliant move. And I am a big fan of Vincent D'Onofrio pretty much forever. And maybe that's the first time I saw him. I can't recall. I know that I was surprised at some other time when I saw him that he wasn't this budgy Gomer guy that he was in Full Metal Jacket. I really identified with his character too. So I cringed at a lot of that first half of the film in a way, a positive way of it was working for me. And I think also that the establishing the way in which the Army broke, or the Marines, whatever it was, broke the people down so that it could build them back together again as a unit without the individuality. And then they move into the war. I think that was well taken. Once they get to the war, it's not that it's a bad movie, but it's just another war movie. There's nothing wrong with that, but it pales next to the beginning. And as like Phil said, people, if you ask them about that movie, they remember the drill sergeant. They don't remember the entire second half of the film, and there's a reason for that.
It's harrowing what they do to D'Onofrio. D'Onofrio, is that how you say it?
D'Onofrio, yeah.
When they've had enough of him and they attack him that one night, like the guys in his platoon, with the bars of soap and everything. That's awful.
A good scene. Yeah.
It's kind of in this second wave of Vietnam films, because there was the first wave with the movies didn't touch it for a while, although you had the Green Berets and other things here and there. But you get Apocalypse Now, Coming Home, and The Deer Hunter at the end of the 70s. Yeah. And then it's kind of left alone. Then you get a whole bunch of films. And Full Metal Jacket definitely got lost in the shuffle to a degree. You get Full Metal Jacket, you get Platoon, you get Casualties of War, Hanoi Hilton, Hamburger Hill. Some of these I haven't even seen. But there must have been in the late 80s, for some reason, all at once, there was like maybe up to 10 prominent Vietnam films. I don't know why there was that division there.
My memory of the time in the early 70s is that, and of course that was the time when violence in movies was changing quickly. There were a few movies. Little Big Man is probably the most famous. There was a movie called Soldier Blue with Candice Bergen that's pretty stinky. But in both those cases, they had slaughter of Native Americans, and you were obviously supposed to see it as a parallel to Vietnam. But they weren't, as you say, they weren't making the movie yet that just showed the slaughter in the war. The first movie I can remember, and it's been so long, I shouldn't even bring it up, it was called Go Tell the Spartans, and had Burt Lancaster, which is probably why I watched it, because I love Burt Lancaster. And my memory of that film, that might be mid-70s, and it was pretty good.
Supposed to be good. 77. So Ted Post, some guy named Ted Post directed it.
But again, it wasn't a big thing. I think you hit it. Coming Home for the liberals, and Apocalypse Now for the anarchists. I don't know. Yeah, nowadays we get it, but not then. No.
Actually, Who'll Stop the Rain was in there too. With Nick
you're right. That's a good choice. Yeah,
which is sort of that's not combat footage. That's a returning bat, right? Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm surprised. I mean, you guys know like some of these movies much better than I do, but I guess I'm just a little surprised that even the first half of Full Metal Jacket, that sort of thing hasn't been explored. I don't know. I felt like I'd seen it. But maybe it's just in isolated scenes before. Like, I just didn't feel like I was watching something I didn't see, and there was way too much of it too. I just got sick of the abuse, like watching it after a while. It's like, so you like was at the time, at least, that considered a sort of very unusual way to depict the war or something, or?
It was, to an extent. I mean, you start, they're basically, the first half takes place in the barracks, right?
Yeah. But I feel like I've seen a lot of that in movies. Maybe I haven't.
I've never seen it done so forcefully myself.
Maybe I'm thinking of Stripes or something like that.
But you know what? Actually, the Warren Oates and Stripes actually.
He is abusive.
He's not that far away from the Emery. When did
if I remember right, Ermey did commercials and everything. He became a star.
Yeah, he did.
He sell batteries or whatever in the park.
I keep calling him Emery. Is it Ermey? I'm probably
Ermey. I think it is.
Okay.
I'm thinking of an antecedent to, again, the first half of Full Metal Jacket. I feel like we're agreeing not to talk about the rest. I don't know why you would have seen this 50s movie, the D.I., a Jack Webb movie. Yeah, I mean, is Jack Webb even anybody people know now? I don't know that. Dragnet.
Dragnet, right?
Oh, yeah, I know Jack Webb.
Okay. Well, the D.I. is a movie about a D.I., but that's the whole movie. They don't go to war at the end, as I recall.
What's a D.I.? Oh, drill instructor. Okay.
Drill instructor. So he's playing the Ermey part, Jack Webb, because he directs it and he stars. And the scene that still sticks in my mind is when they do something wrong, and he has the whole group in the sand looking for a flea. They were supposed to be like quiet, and some guy slapped himself because he got a flea. And Jack Webb, it's like, that would kill you in real war. Find that flea. And they're all digging in the sand. And then finally some guy comes over and look, I got it. Here's the flea. And Jack read, that's a male flea. We're looking for a female. Sticks with me to this day.
Okay, my last thing on Full Metal Jacket, and another reason why this movie is a dud, shitty use of good music.
I was just going to single out two great musical sequences.
Surfing Bird was okay. Surfing Bird was decent, really, but I didn't think it's great. I don't know.
Okay, what about, I know it's a little corny, but these boots were made for walking. It's such a transition, though, from Ermi to the song, where they're now in Vietnam, and it leads to Two Live Crew, right? And Me So Horny.
Yeah,
I like both those a lot.
I mean, maybe if I watch those scenes again, and in light of what you're saying about them, but watching it, I remember thinking this is a waste. I don't remember boots. I mean, I remember boots are made for walking, but I just don't remember having a reaction to it.
Yeah.
Either
well,
way,
you know what, Scott?
Never sucked me in. Like,
even though I'm saying they're great, I didn't include them in the list for the book, so maybe I don't think they're that great after all. I mean, they're effective, I think. But
Surfing Birds did sound good, but I thought, could be there's something he could just do something so much more with this, like really get at a nastiness or something that he doesn't really begin to. I don't know.
What about the beginning with the haircuts and who's singing? It's called Hello Vietnam.
I don't remember.
It's a countryish song. Remember, all the guys are.
I remember the scene. I don't remember the music though. For some.
It's okay. It's a country thing.
Okay. Oh yeah, actually I do. All I remember thinking about that now that you mention is like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Stanley Kubrick using country music, and I thought, I do remember thinking that. Oh, that's neat. This country song in a Stanley Kubrick movie, and it doesn't seem condescended to or anything like that. It's just kind of interesting. But
yeah, it fit. There was some going to the what's the song?
Chapel of Love. I love that song, and I just didn't.
No, it wasn't used memorably. I can't even remember how it was used.
I think there was another girl group song maybe too, or a doo-wop song or something. I can't remember.
It was a non sequitur when they used it. It had no purpose. Well, I don't have anything else to add, I don't think. Stephen?